Warning, these videos contain mature and psychological themes. The stories are often inspired by real events, folklore, or historical cases, but are fictionalized and dramatized for entertainment purposes. No graphic content is shown. Viewer discretion is advised.
Have you ever heard of the story of the Dyatlov Pass? A true tale, and I was there. I saw the horror up close. I was in my late teens at the time, 1959. I had an interesting job as a weather tech posted way up north at a Soviet outpost. My job was to record temperatures, wind speeds, humidity, atmospheric pressure, all that kind of stuff. One shack, one busted up radio, a couple of buddies, including a cook who drank vodka like water, and myself. It was cold. Not winter cold. I'm talking soul-stealing, piss, freezing, make your eyeballs itch kind of cold. You walk outside with gloves, and your fingers start cracking in under a minute. Then came the hikers. Bunch of kids, really, now looking back. Students mostly, heading off to cross that cursed mountain pass. They passed through our checkpoint. I remember their faces well, laughing, joking, full of life. One of them, the leader, he looked like the kind of person you'd follow into a storm. Fair play to them all. They were experienced, you could tell. The older gentleman that was part of the team, he had these cold eyes, didn't talk much. After they left our checkpoint, they were supposed to check back in after 2 weeks. But they never did. And after so long, it was deemed necessary for the military to organize and send out a search team. I was one of the volunteers. And I shouldn't have gone. I should have stayed safe in that shack. That way I wouldn't have these images burnt into my retinas. It didn't take us long to find their tent. It was half buried in the snow, and it was ripped open, but from the inside, looked like they clawed their way out. Their boots still lined up neatly, jackets, gloves, sleeping bags, all still there, untouched. Like they left in some kind of panic, like something had come inside, and they just needed to escape. Barefoot, in the snow, at -30. There were tracks, and they led us downhill. That's when we started to find the bodies. The first two, just in their underwear, barefoot, curled up under a tree, hands charred black, maybe trying to light a fire, but some of the fingers were gone, snapped off like dry twigs. One of the men had bits of bark in his mouth. Some people think he tried to chew his way into the tree, maybe from utter panic, trying anything to escape. But escape from what? That's the question. A bit further up, 3 more bodies, fallen in a line like they were crawling back towards the tent. One had a shattered skull. Another had his face frozen with the most terrifying expression. Mouth wide, eyes in shock, tongue stiff with frost. It looked like he died seeing something he wasn't supposed to see. And then we found the ravine. 4 more bodies lay there. These ones were different. One of the women, her ribs were crushed inwards, like something with massive force had caved them in, but no bruises on her skin. Her skull was cracked like an eggshell, eyes missing, tongue gone. Didn't look like it had been eaten. No blood, no animal tracks, just gone. One of the men, bones poking through the skin like he had been dropped from a huge height, but the snow beneath him didn't have signs of impact, and there was nothing that the man could have even fallen from. The team I worked for, the higher-ups, said it was an avalanche. But I've seen avalanches, and I've seen the horrible aftermath, and this definitely wasn't that. Avalanches don't make people bite trees or lose their bloody eyeballs. Avalanches don't leave radiation on clothes. Oh yes, did I forget to mention that part? That's right. Some of their gear was radioactive. We tested it. The oldest member in the group, his trousers lit up the counter like a dying reactor. Nobody could explain it. And their skin, it was a tinge of orange, not like suntan orange, more like sick orange, like something poisoned them. And one of the girls, her hair had turned completely grey. She was barely in her 20s. And around that time, other hikers in the area, 50, maybe 60 kilometers away, saw orbs in the sky. Big, burning spheres, silent, floating, then gone. The local people, they warned us. They said the mountains were cursed. They said it was stupid for anyone to work up there, let alone explore. They called it the Mountain of the Dead. And they said it's called that for a reason. Me and my team, we used to laugh at all this superstitious nonsense. Boy, how we were fools. One night I started to hear things myself. Yeah, I thought I was going mad at first. There were whispers up there in the mountains. Some nights, when the wind died down, there was this humming, persistent, low, made you feel uneasy, anxious. It was like a voice trying to creep into your brain, hijack your thoughts. I can't explain it. Some of the men in our team actually did lose their minds, poor bastards. One of them walked into the mountains and never came back. No one ever found him. Another ended it all in the outhouse. Used a rope tied to the rafters. I'll never forget. Used to say the girl with no eyes would talk to him in his dreams. He couldn't get any sleep. Well, now he sleeps forever. During all of this, I tried to focus on my job and not let all this insanity get to me until it forced me to pay attention. It only happened once, but I swear it was real. It certainly didn't feel like a dream, I can tell you that. And sometimes I still question it. One night, the girl with no eyes paid me a visit. Now, I won't get into that night right now, but look, in the end, the military shut the whole thing down, made us all sign papers, told us to forget Natural causes, they said. Then one day, a short man, very peculiar looking man, came to my shop and questioned me in private. Interrogated me for hours. Didn't give a name. Refused tea, coffee. I remember how he got straight to the point. He leaned forward, face almost touching mine, breath like an ashtray. Intimidating bastard, that's for sure. He looked me dead in the eyes and said,
"You didn't see anything up there. You didn't find anything up there. And if you say anything other than that, you'll be joining them in their fate."
I've kept my mouth shut all these years, but now I'm old. And at this point, I don't care if they come for me. In fact, let them. I have questions I'd like to ask. Because people need to know what really happened up there. Look, whilst I'm on the subject, there's one bit of key information that nobody is talking about. We found 9 bodies, okay? But there were 10 trucks. 10 people ran from that tent. 10 trails into the snow. So you tell me, who the hell was the 10th? Now, whatever you do, don't go looking for answers up there. Some things are buried in that snow for a reason. And I think it should bloody stay that way.